A very good afternoon to all of you. This program today that we have planned as a webinar is part of the Sadhana Saptaha from the mission Karmayogi, which is being observed from the 2nd April to 8th April 2026. Going in line with the mission Karmayogi, the capacity building unit of AIISH Mysore, including me as the MDO leader, and Dr. Vasant Lakshmi, Dr. Chandni Jain, Dr. Santosh Yadav, Ms. Vijay Lakshmi, and Mr. Bharat as the members of the capacity building unit. Today, we are here to present to you a webinar on technology integration for empowerment of persons with speech, language, and hearing disabilities. Before that, we would like to give you a quick overview of the Institute and the status of the Institute, as well as the progress that is made by the Institute, the All India Institute of Speech and Hearing, Mysore. This is a quick glimpse of the various infrastructure of the Institute. The Institute is placed in the lush green campus called Manasa Gangotri at Mysore in the state of Karnataka, India. This institute was established in the year 1965, and it is an autonomous organization in the field of communication disorders, which is fully funded by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India. And this is considered a premier institute pertaining to communication disorders in the Asian subcontinent. We also celebrated our Diamond Jubilee last year, and we were very happy to have the Honorable President with us to celebrate the Diamond Jubilee of the All India Institute of Speech and Hearing, Mysore, along with the Chief Minister of Karnataka. We've received various national level recognitions from the President herself at the National Awards 2024 in the field of empowerment of persons with disabilities. And our director, Dr. M. Pushpavati, received the award for the Institute. These are some of the departments of the Institute that cater to the various aspects and the objectives of the Institute. We have around 11 departments at the Institute. Our Center of Excellence was inaugurated by the Honorable Prime Minister of India on 20th June 2022 in the virtual mode. We have around 5 research centers, 5 clinical centers, and 2 outreach centers, a total of around 12 centers of excellence for the field of communication disorders. These are the different centers under the Center of Excellence at the All India Institute of Speech and Hearing, Mysore. The objectives of AIISH have always been 4 verticals. Primarily, the Institute is involved in human resource development, carrying out basic and advanced research in the field of communication disorders, and rendering clinical services, as well as we are involved in the public education and awareness programs for different target groups. AIISH deals with persons who are having problems of speech and language, as well as hearing disorders. Basically, the professionals involved in AIISH are audiologists who deal with hearing-related problems, and speech-language pathologists who deal with speech-language and swallowing-related problems. We also are very privileged to have our allied health professionals in the field of ENT. We also have clinical psychologists, special educators, as well as consultants coming to our institute as neurologists, pediatric neurologists, developmental pediatricians, plastic surgeons, and so on. These are the courses that are there in the area of communication disorders at the All India Institute of Speech and Hearing, Mysore. We run the Bachelor's of Audiology and Speech Language Pathology. Further, specialization into Masters of Science in Audiology and Masters of Science in Speech Language Pathology, PhD in Speech Language Pathology, and PhD in Audiology. We also have postdoctoral degrees thereafter after the BASLP courses. We have various diploma courses as well as special education courses. Special education courses include B.Ed Special Ed HI and Masters of Education Special Education HI, and further to PhD. This is the website of AIISH. The website of AIISH is addressed as www.AIISHMysore.in. That is www.mysore.in. So all of us are segregated into various departments here, and any information regarding the academics, administration, departments, centers, research, infrastructure, public education, facilities at AIISH can be found at our website. What are the different kinds of communication disorders that AIISH caters to? Most commonly that you would hear about is hearing impairment, both in pediatric, adult, as well as geriatric disorders. We also deal with various speech-related problems such as fluency disorders. We also see speech-language problems in autism spectrum disorders, voice disorders, pronunciation difficulties or articulation disorders, cerebral palsy, intellectual disabilities, cleft lip or palate, attention deficit hyperactive disorders, learning disabilities, aphasia, dysphagia, and dementia, and various other cognitive communication disorders. These are the various rehabilitation options that we have at AIISH. We are involved in hearing aid fitting, listening training, speech therapy, vestibular or tinnitus rehabilitation, and we also have special education services in the form of AIISH Preschool. With that brief introduction about the Institute, let us now move on to the primary topic of the webinar today, which is technology integration for the empowerment of speech, language, and hearing disabilities. I, Dr. Jayashree C. Shanbal, is a professor of language pathology and also head of the Department of Special Education and MDO leader AIISH Mysore, is here to present about speech language disabilities, and my colleague Dr. Chandni Jain will be presenting about the same in the hearing disabilities. So as we understand, speech language disabilities affect the ability to produce speech sounds, maintain fluency, or use language to communicate effectively. The most common challenges that we often see in these conditions are social isolation and reduced independence, and there could also be a lot of barriers in educational as well as job and professional settings, which is in turn a frustration due to unmet communication needs. Being the professional in the field of communication disorders, we have seen that there has a remarkable transformation over the years in terms of the advancements that technology has set in the field of communication disorders and contributed to research as well as clinical practice at large. So just giving you a glimpse of the technological driven advancements, we have made a lot of advancements in terms of audiology, wherein you have our implications in terms of technology for digital hearing aids, cochlear implants, and various other devices, which will be elaborated by my colleague, Dr. Chandni Jain. Further, in terms of speech language pathology, a lot of implications has been seen in terms of teletherapy, AAC, speech generating devices, AR, VR, AI-based and computer-assisted language intervention, a lot of them which are also seen as applications in assessment. So basically, we have seen that integrating the technology into assessment and therapy has always enhanced the engagement as well as helped us provide real-time feedback and also to expand access to care. So what are the different kinds of implications of technology that we have seen? We see that these implications have been observed in terms of identifying, screening, as well as diagnosis of language disorders. Some of these softwares that we have been using are the natural language processing softwares, especially the SALT software, which helps us in the automated calculation of measuring the length of utterance, especially the mean length of utterance, the time token ratio, which is TTR, grammatical complexity, a lot of which have been used by the students as well as the professionals to analyze and see whether it is developmentally appropriate. If not, what is the deviation for conditions with language disorders, especially seen in conditions like autism spectrum disorders, intellectual disabilities, or developmental language disorders. A lot of these softwares have also been used to analyze the narrative structures and discourse cohesion without manual coding. Various other technological applications that we have seen and have always been conducting further research on these areas are the event-related potentials. Event-related potentials are also used in various cognitive and language-based conditions such as learning disabilities. These have also been conducted In children with intellectual disabilities, these have been conducted in persons with stuttering and so on. The other applications that we can see in terms of technology in language conditions are eye tracking. Eye tracking devices have been used in various conditions like autism spectrum disorders and learning disabilities. Apart from this, you will also see that speech language pathologists are involved in the acoustic and voice analysis process, especially whenever we have seen that there have been voice disorders or conditions that have deviated into a different quality of voice. Usually, you will see that some of these aspects have been seen in the area of assessment as well as intervention. You would see that a lot of them involve spectrograms. We are involved in analysis through technology for pitch contours and loudness tracking, a lot of them which are used for diagnosis of various voice disorders. The other condition wherein we see that individuals may have articulatory or pronunciation difficulties are articulatory assessments through technology. A lot of physiological instrumentation or biofeedback instrumentation is used for articulatory assessments, which are also found in the institute, which are housed in the institute at present. We have the ultrasound tongue imaging techniques, wherein you will see that the chin provides a real-time mid-sagittal view of tongue shape and movement during speech. This is a high-speed ultrasound, wherein you see that it is placed below the chin. We also have electropalatography, which is otherwise called EPG. This is usually a custom-made artificial palate that contains electrodes, which detects the tongue to palate contact patterns and displayed visually on a screen. The other one is your articulograph, which is one of its state-of-art facilities that AIISH has. The articulograph is a high precision data which helps us to understand the movement of the speech articulators, especially the tongue, lips, and the jaw. We also see nasometry, which is a non-invasive tool that uses a headset with the baffle plate to separate the oral and the nasal sound, with which we can identify children who are having hypernasality or adults with hypernasality in different conditions. Also, something which is used for various rehabilitation purpose to see the pre and post changes. The other important aspect that we have seen in terms of technology is the augmentative and alternative communication. Various AR, VR technologies have been used. You'll also see that there are Go Talk devices which are used as to see how best we can come out with speech to text and text to speech devices as well. A lot of these technology-based interventions have also seen that they are more neuroplasticity-based interventions. For example, our neuromuscular retraining programs. We've also been involved in brain stimulation techniques such as TDCS. Some of these in literature have been showing various progresses in terms of conditions such as aphasia, dysarthria, stuttering, Parkinson's disease, and so on. We've also seen that a lot of technology has been used in cognitive linguistic therapy of conditions like aphasia, TBI, stroke, and neurodegenerative diseases. There are various collaborative care and ecosystem approach that is usually followed in terms of technology. Multidisciplinary system is the one that is the approach right now, and there's a lot of transdisciplinary collaboration that is happening for communication between allied professionals as well as the core professionals. We're also involving our technology-based assessments in teleassessment and intervention. AIISH has also been offering teleassessment and intervention and also facilitating home-based intervention programs and parented implemented therapy. This is just a quick view of our spread across the world. So it's not that AIISH is only catering to what is happening in India, but also across India. PCPD is one of our departments which is catering to teleservices. We've seen an expanded scope of this practice in speech, language, and hearing. We've always seen that there is a constant interdisciplinary collaboration, and the collaboration is happening between neurologists, otolaryngologists, and psychologists, which have actually improved the patient outcomes. A lot of evidence-based practice has been happening. A lot of research is happening, keeping in mind the technology integration for clinical practice as well. So yes, we have expanded our scope of practice into early intervention, focusing on the quality of life as well as diversity and inclusion. With that, I would like to conclude now and say that these technological advancements have significantly improved the lives of individuals with communication disorders. And accessible technology of these kinds, and especially in an institute with the state of art facilities like the All India Institute of Speech and Hearing, has always fostered for an earlier assessment and intervention, and also for more effective treatments. So this has not only led for a better outcome, but a technology integration that has definitely improved independence and also in turn improved the quality of life. Thank you. With this, I now request my colleague, Dr. Chandni, to continue with the technology integration from the audiology perspective. Chandni, you can share your screen.
Yes. Is it visible?
Yeah, we can see.
Thank you, Dr. Jayashree, for this initial introduction. I am Dr. Chandni. I am Associate Professor in Audiology and member of the CBU unit of AIISH. So, Dr. Jayashree has already spoken about the technology integration for empowerment of persons with speech and communication disorders. I will just brief about the technology intervention which has happened over the years in individuals with hearing loss. So hearing loss is, from this graph, we can see that hearing loss is on a rise, wherein we are seeing the number of individuals who are born with hearing impairment might increase to 2.5 billion by 2050. And right now, the estimate is around 1.5 billion. And countries have to act to provide access to ear and hearing care for all. And hearing loss will not impact just the hearing, but it also impacts the cognitive function, emotional well-being, social connection, and quality of life. So, the technological advancements are transforming this reality. Modern hearing technologies now enable greater independence, richer communication, and fuller participation in the society. So first we'll be talking about the innovations which has happened in hearing devices. Normally the rehabilitation of hearing loss includes three main devices. Those are hearing aids, cochlear implants, and assistive listening devices. Hearing aids are the personal devices which basically amplifies the sounds, and with technology how there is an improvement we'll be seeing in the next slides. Then we have cochlear implant, which are basically used for individuals with severe to profound hearing loss, which works on the basis that it directly stimulates the auditory nerve. And we also have assistive listening devices, which includes FM systems, induction loop systems, and many, many more, which few of them you also saw in the previous presentation, which basically enhances the sound clarity in the listening environments, and they are used a lot in the school setup. So talking about the evolution of hearing technology, in very early period when hearing aids had just come into the picture, we had analog hearing aids wherein the body level hearing aids used to be worn by individuals with hearing aid, which were very clumsy and not having a great face value. That's why people never like to use those hearing aids, and it did not have any digital involvement in it, so it just used to amplify the sound, so noise also used to get amplified along with the speech. With technology, there was improvement in the aids, and we had electronic aids, and we had the initial cochlear implants with a single channel implantation used to happen, followed by we had digital hearing aids, and now we have multi-channel implants. Earlier in the cochlear implant also the processor used to be worn at the body level, but now the processor are worn at the ear level. So what we now, the hearing aids what are coming from last 1 or 2 years, they are, a few companies are claiming that they have AI adaptive system, with wireless technology. So we can see that from simple acoustic amplification to intelligent AI-driven system, hearing technology has undergone a century of remarkable transformation, each era bringing meaningfully greater independence to those with hearing loss. So today's hearing aids are sophisticated electronic systems far beyond just the amplifiers. It just not only amplify, they are actually trying to reduce the noise and just enhance the speech, and a lot of digital processing involved in it. So the core components of hearing aids include microphone, which collects the sound, amplifier, which amplifies the sound, and receiver, which converts it back to the auditory input. It's now enhanced by cutting edge technology. That means it has digital signal processing with precise amplification and filtered tailored to individual hearing profiles. It has directional microphones to enhance speech perception and noise in the real world environments. And today hearing aids also have Bluetooth and AI, wherein you can stream it through the smartphones and TV, and it also auto adapts to the listening environment. That was about hearing aids, how there have been change in the technology. And as I said, AI-based hearing aids have recently been provided by the company from last maybe 2 years. Now, talking about the cochlear implant, as I said, for individuals with severe to profound hearing loss, cochlear implant surgically bypasses the damaged hair cells to directly stimulate the auditory nerve, offering sound perception where hearing aids cannot work. So now we have multi-channel implants, which improves the frequency resolution for clearer speech. We have advanced electrode designs for better cochlear coverage and preserves residual hearing. And we also have AI-based processing, which adapts the sound processing in complex listening environments. The next device, which is commonly used for individuals with hearing loss, is ALDs, or assistive listening devices. ALDs basically enhances the auditory input in challenging environments and work independently or alongside the hearing aids and cochlear implants. They are especially impactful in educational and public settings. FM systems are very useful in school setting, and they are also used during the public speak. So FM system and infrared system, they directly transmit the sound to hearing devices, reducing the background noise. So the speech becomes more clearer and the noise is reduced over there. We also have induction loop systems, which are embedded in public venues and schools, which are also compatible with hearing aid telecoils for seamless perception. And we do have remote microphones, which are placed near speakers in classroom to deliver clear, close range audio to students. So moving on to integration with digital technology, currently we are also working on teleaudiology. As you saw that Dr. Jayashree talked about TCPD, wherein we have a center at AIISH, which works totally on facilities. So in teleaudiology, basically, it's a very new thing which is still happening. We work on remote assessment, device fitting, remote device fitting, remote counseling. So if we are able to do remote hearing assessment, remote device fitting, and remote counseling, we'll be able to eliminate geographical barriers, people who are not able to reach us. And if we are able to do this testing through tele mode, virtual mode, it is going to be a great technology advancement for them. It's happening, but we still need a lot of advancement in it. Then we also have mobile applications, which has real-time control and personalization of hearing devices from a smartphone. So in mobile applications, the smartphone, the hearing aids are directly can be controlled totally through your smartphone. So you can do all the controls through your smartphones. Along with that, there are mobile applications also for hearing screening. So you can use those mobile applications. You can download the app and check your hearing, whether you are able to hear well or not, and then go to a audiologist for the detailed evaluation. Then we also have cloud computing. They are basically to secure your data storage and remote device programming by audiologists anywhere. So this hearing aid programming and even the cochlear implant mapping, they are recently people are, especially after COVID-19, people are working on remote programming of these devices. And then artificial intelligence. So you will be working on personalized adaptive hearing experience that learn from user behavior. So technology's role in education and rehabilitation. Technology is also a cornerstone of inclusive education. When developed, deployed early and consistently, it dramatically improves outcome for children with hearing loss. So FM systems can be used in classrooms for direct, clear audio delivery from teacher to student. So it will reduce the listening fatigue. Digital auditory training, wherein structured programs that sharpen the speech perception and language skills. So when in traditionally the auditory training, or when you are training children with hearing impairment, we do one-to-one training. We'll have one therapist and one child. But when you are talking about digital auditory training, we have softwares through which you can train these children auditorily. And then again, teletherapy services. So as I said that hearing assessment, hearing aid programming can be done through telemode. We are also providing teletherapy services to individuals with various hearing related conditions through DCPT. And again, it will be a remote rehabilitation access, especially vital for undeserved communities, or basically geographical barrier. When they are not able to reach us, we are reaching to them through telemode. So it also helps in social and occupational empowerment. Technology does not merely restore hearing, it restores opportunity, dignity, and belonging. So employment access would be there. They'll be able to greater participate in professional environment through clearer communication. Social stigma is reduced because the devices what you are giving them are much smaller, smarter, discrete devices, which reduces the visibility and the social barriers. Most often these individuals have a stigma to wear the device. So if you're giving them a very small device which is not visible, they'll be able to see it. So that's a very big advancement in technology. And independence, wherein individuals manage their own hearing health through apps and connected devices. But there are still challenges and limitations which we need to work upon when we are talking about technology advancement. So despite these advancements, there are still significant barriers which continue to prevent equitable access to hearing technology across populations. So one major limitation or challenge is the cost. So hearing aids and cochlear implants remain financially out of reach for many families, especially in low and middle income settings. So as the hearing aids become more advanced, if you are incorporating AI, if you are incorporating smart features in them, the cost keeps going high. So when the cost is going high, it becomes out of reach for individuals with low and middle income settings. Second challenge is rural access gap. Limited audiological services, infrastructures, and trained professionals in rural and remote areas widen the disparity in care. So though we are saying that teleservices can be done, but for us to do the teleservices, at least in that remote area, they need a smartphone. They should be able to download those apps and do it. So you need a professional to be able to tell them. So that still remains a gap. Maintenance challenge, wherein ongoing technical support, battery replacement, and device servicing are difficult to sustain, particularly in undeserved regions. So though if you provide them with the device also, a regular maintenance is required, and again able to get it in those undeserved regions, it is again a challenge. Noisy environment, many devices still struggle with performance in crowded or acoustically complex environment, limited real world effectiveness, and they are still working on, the engineers, people in this field are still working on how to improve this speech perception in noisy environment. And then training and adaptation, users require structured rehabilitation guidance. Without it, even the best device may be not utilized or abandoned. So we need continuous training to be able to do this. So addressing these barriers is not optional. It is essential for achieving equitable, inclusive access to hearing healthcare. Talking about the future directions in hearing technology, the next generation of hearing solution promises to be smarter, more integrated, and more personalized than ever before. So what I'm going to talk about is next what improvement in technology can happen. Okay, so as I said, some of the hearing aids, the AI is already been implanted, but we still need AI-driven adaptive systems wherein machine learning enables hearing devices to continuously adapt to a user's soundscape, isolating speech, reducing noise, and personalizing in real time. So basically, depending upon in which environment you are there, the hearing aid identifies the environment and modifies the technology in the hearing aid. So that is what we are expecting in future. Next is augmented reality captioning. So these are again a very new thing wherein AR enabled smart glasses can overlay real-time captions onto the user's visual field, enabling seamless communication in any environment. So we are having a few studies wherein we are going to work on AR enabled glasses, and this AR enabled glasses can also be used for training. So it can be used as a real time captions wherein whatever is heard will be visible. Other than that, it can also be used for training wherein you can make your training more game based. The next one is brain computer interfaces. So emerging neural interface technologies aim to bypass damaged auditory pathways entirely, transmitting sound signals directly to the brain. And the last one is gene therapy and regenerative medicine. So gene therapy is something which is very recent, and researchers have been exploring gene editing techniques from years, and still lots to be done. And they are basically to restore or regenerate the damaged hair cells in the cochlea, potentially reversing certain forms of hearing loss at its biological roots. So these are the future directions of hearing technology. Basically, what I have my presentation, what I have tried to do is basically for hearing impaired individuals, what are the advancement in technology which has happened over the years. But as audiologists also, when we are doing testing for hearing assessment, there also a technology advancement has happened. But I have restricted myself right now to just talk about the advancement which has happened for hearing impaired individuals in the rehabilitation. As audiologists also, we had advancement happening in hearing screening, hearing assessment, as well as in hearing rehabilitation. So that is what I wanted to tell today. Thank you. I hope it was useful.
Thank you, Dr. Chandni. And I also thank a lot of our participants